Welcome to the FitBiz Accelerator, your ultimate guide to launching, growing, and scaling a thriving online fitness business. I'm your host, Tobias Young. And whether you're just starting out or looking to take your business to the next level, this podcast is packed with actionable tips, real-world strategies, and the insights you need to crush your business goals and build the business of your dreams. Now that you're here, let's dive in. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the FitBiz Accelerator Podcast. I'm your host, Tobias Young, and today I'm joined by Kary Sinkule. Yes, founder of Yoga Arc. Yes, and Yoga Arc is a mobile yoga company with a powerful mission. It's actually bringing yoga to anyone, anywhere, anytime. And they've served over 50 diverse communities, including corporate offices, veterans, recovery centers, correctional facilities, and underserved populations as well. And what I love about this conversation is that it's not just about yoga. It's about building a business around a real mission. It's about meeting people where they are. It's about creating partnerships and building community and growing beyond just trading your time for money. So if you're a fitness coach, a yoga instructor, or a wellness professional who wants to grow your business while creating real impact, this episode is going to give you a lot to think about. Kary, welcome to the show. Yeah, absolutely. Before we get into the business side, tell us a little bit about your story, who you are, what Yoga Arc is, and what inspired you to start a mobile yoga company.
Well, Tobias, thank you so much for this amazing greeting and the chance to be here to share my story. I have been a fitness guru since 1990, and that was after doing all the sports in high school, mostly cheerleading, which I know isn't considered a sport. But it was really what brought me to the fitness career, because in college, I took the group fitness classes, got certified. They noticed me, and I've been teaching since 1991. And I feel as if it's our duty to pass on the apprenticeship of fitness, because there's so many like online classes and quick fixes and all of these things. But for someone that's made all the mistakes and done all of the things, why not pass down what I know instead of everyone having to reinvent the wheel?
Yeah, I love that. And one thing that stood out to me right away is that you don't just say like, come take a yoga class. You say, we'll bring yoga to you. And that's a big lesson for fitness coaches, because sometimes we are waiting for people to come to us. And when the bigger opportunity is learning how to meet people where they are. And why was accessibility such a big part of your mission from the beginning?
Thank you for that. So a couple hats I hear here. It's like, we have to market ourselves. And I don't think we really realize it. Now, don't get me wrong. Being in the studios, being in the gyms, being in all those places, learning our skills as fitness professionals. That's the way to learn the skills, but we really have to learn to market ourselves, right? I spent so many years teaching in the elite studios that I got so tired of it, because think about all of the untapped communities of the people that might be afraid to leave their house or their community. What if we all thought differently and said, why not pack up our cars, get ourselves an LLC, and go out there and bring it to the people where it's not as intimidating? And it really works.
Wow, that's good. And I love that too, because of a lot of fitness professionals accidentally make their offer harder to access than it needs to be. The real magic happens when we remove the friction. So for the coaches listening, what have you learned about making wellness feel less intimidating for people who may not normally seek it out?
It's our daily challenge still to this day, because if you think about what social media does today, the shock factor is what gets people watching and viewing. But a lot of times the shock factor makes it look so inaccessible. So we really, if that's something you want to brand yourself as, bringing fitness to beginners, to the people that really need it but don't even know where to start, that's really where our brand needs to be. And it's about consistency over time. We're never going to get popular quickly, especially if we're being honest and authentic. But if we keep showing up consistently, without stressing ourselves out, our people will come.
Yeah. And you have this belief that yoga is for everyone. And I love how you say it's not about standing on your head. That applies to fitness too. A lot of people see fitness online and they think, I'm not fit enough, I'm too old, I'm too out of shape, or I don't belong there. So how have you helped people understand that yoga is not about being perfect or advanced, but about self-care and healing and connection?
Thank you. Well, not to get into all the detail, but I grew up in a pretty traumatic household with a lot of violence, a lot of abuse, and they didn't really know what was happening. They don't know any better. It's generational. Well, I was the one to break the curse, right? But I became an exercise addict. So within 5 years of being group fitness, by 1996, I was so broken that I was at a physical therapist. And the physical therapist, I was trying to over physical therapy myself to try to teach more classes. And my physical therapist was like, man, you need yoga. And because I was such a listener, I opened up the yellow pages at the time. And Anahata Yoga School was the first one that showed up. I showed up there, and within 2 days, she said, you need to teach this. So obviously it was a calling of mine, and I just kept saying yes, but I had no clue what I was doing. And I kept having no clue what I was doing, but I kept showing up. And in 2014, I finally faced it. I was diagnosed with adrenal fatigue and had to turn to the healing side of yoga, not the power, not the aesthetics, not what looked cool, but I had to really look inward and start the nervous system work and the breath work and all of that side that seemed so boring to me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so much easier. I'm feeling so much better. I'm losing so much weight. Anybody can lay around and breathe. There's so much more to that, way less equipment than there is in all the weights and stuff. So I just kind of transformed into that. But it's really all about finding our breath, and there's nothing more to it. We don't need to do anything.
That's such a good reminder. And sometimes in fitness too, we accidentally market to the people who already believe that they can do it. But the bigger market is often the person who feels scared, they feel embarrassed, they feel overwhelmed or maybe unsure. So how can coaches do a better job communicating that their service is for real people with real struggles?
All right. Funny thing. Can you believe it? I was a network marketer for 10 years. I know. Kind of crazy, right?
Yeah.
Everyone thought I was crazy, but it taught me how to sell. It taught me how to hear no. And it was all, of course, nutritional products. Some of them I still use. But here's the deal. Your clientele is in your Rolodex. That's funny. Your phone, your Rolodex, your social media lists, your email lists. But posting is not selling. What you all need to do is get out your phones, get out your social media, get out your email lists, take a few breaths, get in your Zen, and just brainstorm and write down everyone you know that can use your services. And when you break down that list, the numbers are 1 out of 10 are going to say yes. So if you go into it knowing I'm going to call 10 people or text 10 people, 1 will say yes, then the expectation is easier. Then you say, how much time do I have a day? I'm going to do 3 a day. I'm going to text or call 3 a day. So you're breaking it down. And if you say, well, I need 10 clients by the end of this month, well, there's 100 people.
Yeah.
So you have to really do the math. And then you learn your number. And then those people tell people that tell people. Yeah. And then decide, are you virtual? Are you in person? Are you like driving to homes? And just kind of make that decision for yourself and be open to whatever comes up. I say try everything 3 times. If your gut's still like, this isn't working for me, stop.
Yeah, no, that's good. I love that, Kary. And you've also worked with corporate offices and veterans and recovery centers and correctional facilities and many other communities. And that's powerful because you've taken yoga into places where people may need it most, but may have the least access to it. So what have you learned from serving such diverse populations?
Serving. Like if you show up every day as your own CEO, and even if you're an independent contractor working for just yourself and you don't have your LLC yet and you're getting your certifications and you're out there working, you are a CEO. And when you believe you're a CEO, you'll start showing up for yourself more. So as a CEO, I kept showing up for myself and kept showing up for these communities that kept popping up. When the Chamber of Commerce in my local community asked me to show up, I keep showing up. I'm not showing up because I'm like, who am I going to serve? Or who's going to serve me? It's who can I serve? When you keep showing up with the servant mindset, it will come. And we have a nonprofit for those that couldn't afford us, right? So when people started asking for our services and we couldn't find the funding, that's when that why came. So if you just keep doing your passion, following your why, and not letting anyone take you off guard, your path will come 1 step at a time. Yeah. I promise.
Yeah, I love that. Especially that goes for other things too. Like that goes for your social media content and your follow-ups. If you're out there just trying to like sell, you're going to repel everybody. But if you just serve, they come to you. It's crazy how it happens, but it works. And I think this is a huge business lesson for coaches too. Growth is not just more followers or more content. Another growth plan is partnerships, getting into businesses, like you're saying, getting into organizations, getting into communities. What advice would you give a coach or an instructor who wants to start partnering up with local businesses and schools and recovery centers or corporate offices or community organizations?
I find a lot of fitness professionals have a lot of really good fitness knowledge, but we forget we have to learn how to sell, how to, like the CEO books, like the books where people have gone. So I say spend half your time learning how to run a business, not just learning about nutrition and all of your things that you love learning about. That's probably number one. Number two, when you show up at networking events, show up not expecting a thing, show up. I like to show up learning two people's names and getting two people's contact information every time and then saying, who can I connect one person with? Like, what can I do for one of the two? Like, I don't want to put all that pressure on myself. So when you keep showing up to give, it comes back. It really, really, really does. But when we show up because we need it and we want it and we're desperate, it shows. And know that if you give yourself the patience and you're doing it for the right reasons and you have your fallbacks, it will happen if you just give yourself grace and know that the checkbox to-do list will never go away. And be patient. Just be really patient and do a little bit every day and let yourself shut off at night. Let yourself shut off. Take that self-care. Do that morning work for yourself because you'll show up better every day.
100%. Yeah. And you've also shared that this mission is deeply personal for you. You lost your mom to alcohol and your father-in-law to cancer, connected to his service in Vietnam. How did those personal experiences shape the mission behind Yoga's Arc?
Most of you already know what I'm talking about. When you have something so impactful in your life that changes you, where you have to reflect on how you want to spend the rest of your life, you stop keeping up with the Joneses, you stop worrying about what you're driving, and you start your mission on why you are on this earth, and you get called to your spiritual grounding, whatever that is for any of you. It's really important. And I think that the older we get, the more experiences we have, the more we see what it is that this vision is. So in the meantime, if you're feeling all over the place, you haven't been through something tragic, but you're learning the skills, keep going, because it will happen. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I was a school counselor. I was teaching 20 classes a week. My mom was an alcoholic. I was taking care of my grandma with dementia. I was network marketing, not making it up the ranks that they all promise you, wondering what in the heck. But it was all for purpose. In 2017, literally in the middle of the night, in my belief, God woke me up and told me to buy yogasarc.com. I didn't know what I was doing. I did it. I put it away. Met with my mentors. They were like, never buy a yoga studio because there's a studio everywhere. And at that time, it was like no one's committed anymore. Everyone's doing their own thing and Groupon hopping. Dedication just isn't in our communities as it was anymore. So they encouraged me to go mobile. And so I think another thing too, everyone, is we need to stop talking and we need to start listening, because there are messages in everyone around us that tell us things. And if we're not listening, we don't hear it. It might be something really powerful at the right timing that we were supposed to hear.
Yeah, that's powerful. And a lot of coaches listening have their own story, and maybe fitness helped them lose weight or overcome anxiety or get out of pain or rebuild their confidence or find purpose. But sometimes they hide that story because they think it's not professional enough or it's not good enough. So how can coaches use their story to connect with people without making it all about them?
There are so many books and AI programs out there that you can work with that will help you tell your story if you don't know. There are groups like, the speaking groups. Most personal trainers and stuff, we don't have trouble speaking, but you have to really get comfortable exposing. Like, I was sexually abused by my dad's drug dealer from the age of 5 to 15, and I'm finally feeling comfortable telling that story. We have a support group started, all of the things. It took a lot of therapy for me to feel comfortable. So I say you got to do your work. You've got to be grounded in your own stuff, right? So if you need to do the work, get your work so that you are grounded telling your story. And it's not for getting therapy. It's because you've done the work and you're ready to help people up the mountain that have gone through those things. And your story is your why. And we have to get through the yuck of the story to get to the why. And sometimes it's ugly things. Like I haven't talked to a lot of my relatives in over a half a decade, and I've had to be in support groups and all of this work to get there. So know that There's a lot of underground work we all have to do that people don't realize.
Yeah.
And it's really important.
Yeah. And thanks so much for sharing that too, Kary. And you've also talked about entrepreneurship being a dynamic journey where growth is essential and stagnation can make you fall behind pretty quickly. And that's especially true in fitness right now, right? Social media changes, technology changes, AI is here, client expectations change. The
Yes.
way people buy coaching changes. How do you stay adaptable and continue to see around corners as your business continues to grow?
Say yes to every learning opportunity, every coaching opportunity. Be so open to feedback that if you leave a coaching opportunity and not giving you 2 opportunities for growth, beg for it. Every day, reflect on your day. What are 2 things I could have done? The more we learn to accept change, the more we look for it. A couple things I think are spot on, like checkbox easy that you can all do if you're not doing yet. I don't know if this is like international or national, but I know in America, the SDBC, the Small Business Development Center, is a nonprofit free business coaching. I have been using SDBC since 2017. They have helped me build my entire business, not paying a dime. It's because I'm open to listen, to do what they tell me to do, and the feedback. I leave crying sometimes, but I still show up. The second thing I want to say, if you don't have something like a planner, I use the Full Focus Planner by Michael Hyatt. He worked himself to almost death. His wife almost left him. He's got 5 children, and he learned how to work his life and business. So Full Focus Planner, if you're not, and I don't endorse them, but I couldn't do it without it. Another task I love, if you think about this so logically, we all have a list of things to do that's probably 1,000 things long that sometimes keep us up. And I do a coaching that's called Entrepreneurial Operations System that I run my company on. It's called EOS. And it's a book called Traction, Swear by the System. And you can learn on YouTube. Okay. But I learned every single thing that comes in your life that you want to put on your list of things to do can go into 4 categories. A goal means you don't have the time to look at it for another year. A rock is something you'll look at and accomplish in the next 90 days, and you never want more than 7 rocks. A task is something you're completing within the next week. And a problem is something to solve that goes into one of those 3 categories. So everything that comes down your funnel that you need to add to your plate, this was one of the best hacks that ever helped me. Set it as a rock, goal, task, or a problem. And if it's a goal, you put it on the list and don't look at it for the next 90 days. Work in 90-day runs so that way you don't overdo it, overstress out, and live your life too. Because you need your family, you need your friends, you need your other things too. Don't become a workaholic.
Yeah, that's so good. And I think having a planner is so important too. That one is awesome. I really like the one by Brendan Burchard called High Performance Planner. There's several different ones in there.
All of them.
Yeah, there's good ones in there. I don't endorse that either, but it's the one that I use a lot. And yeah, breaking down your big to-dos so they're not quite as daunting. When I work with my coaches inside the Elite Level Coaches Academy, we set up what are called your 3 big rocks that we set up. And those are things that we work on for the quarter. And then we have weekly smaller pebbles that we break everything down into. And then we have like daily pieces of sand that we knock out the little action items. And so, yeah, very similar. I love it. Good stuff. And a lot of coaches are waiting for the perfect plan, but business is not always about the perfect plan. It's about making decisions and testing things and solving problems and staying in motion. What are some of the biggest pivots or adjustments you've had to make while growing Yoga's Art?
Making sure I acknowledge decision fatigue. And I have a leadership team and we run the EOS levels 10 systems to run our meetings. So there's no question about how we run it. You look that up, everyone, level 10 EOS if you need structure, if you have a team. But the other thing is I have a random number chooser that makes my decisions like what diffuser do I diffuse? What color pen am I using today? What outfit am I wearing? All of that stuff. I don't spend time deciding what playlist do we use? What workout are we going to do? Like random number choosing is the way I do things instead of decision fatigue, but find a way to not put yourself there and always be open to change, reflection, lots of reflection, journaling, coaching yourself.
Yeah. And who was it? the CEO of Apple. Why am I drawing a blank on there? Anyway, he would just have a white T-shirt every single time in blue. He would wear the same thing, so he wouldn't have to have decision inside, because then you just get clear and you can just move on so much faster. And you've created a company that allows you to serve more people than you could serve by yourself, and that's a major shift. A lot of coaches are stuck doing every single session, every check-in, every message, and every task themselves. What did that shift look like for you as Yoga's Arc grew beyond just you?
So we have to learn that our perfectionist control things don't work and we can't do it all. And I was a school teacher for a long time, so I had to learn to delegate. So it's very easy for me to teach people and let them make mistakes and let them do their thing. You all have to start duplicating yourself, finding people that you can mentor. They might not be certified in what you do yet, but you see potential in them, because these quick 24 hour certifications online, they're just not cutting it. And you can exchange hours. Maybe they're good at social media, exchange. You've got to teach people. You've got to be really okay with letting people make mistakes and teaching them that that's okay, and being okay with making mistakes yourselves, everyone. Yep. If you're not making mistakes every day, you're lying to yourself or you're not taking enough risks. And molding people and leading people is one of the most important things that we can do to spread our mission.
Yeah, if you want to scale, you're eventually going to need a team. You're only going to be able to do so many things on your own. So that was one of my biggest bottlenecks early on in my business, was I was trying to do everything myself. And I was like, well, this other person isn't going to be able to do it as good as, you have to get rid of that belief, and then you have to train them. Now, people that I have on my team are better than me at doing certain aspects, right? Because they get good, and you have to create SOPs. And if there's something that you do really well, document it, create screenshots, create Loom videos. That way, when you train somebody, they can already see everything that works, what doesn't work, and they can just hop right in, and there's going to be a faster learning process. Regardless, there's going to be a growth curve. You're going to have that, but the longer they work with you and the more you give them feedback and the more you coach them in a positive way, the better that they're going to get. And many coaches say they want more clients, but what they really need first is more structure. What systems or structure what's helped Yoga's Arc continue delivering great experiences as the company continues to scale?
I think one of the hardest, humblest things we all have to realize as coaches is if we're serious about running a business outside of a hobby, we can't be the number one coach anymore. We have got to step out of the coaching and let people do the coaching for us, train them how to coach, watch them coach, mentor in what went well, isn't going well, and step back and run the company. And we can't run the company if we're doing it. And one of my yoga teachers had to tell me, you've got to stop teaching. And I was like, whatever. It took COVID to come for me to stop. And if y'all learn quicker, you can't, if it's your passion and you are passionate about being on the floor with the clients and you don't want to do anything else, maybe you're not ready to run a business. Maybe you just need to stay in it. Maybe you can do mobile, but in order to scale, you have got to stop, unfortunately, but it's worth it.
It is. And Yoga's Arc is not just providing yoga. You're creating community and healing and empowerment and connection. That's a big differentiator. And people can find workouts anywhere. Right? But what they cannot always find is a place where they feel connected and supported. So how do you intentionally create community through your programs?
Do a little bit at first from your heart. 9 or 8 years ago when downtown Chandler and Awatuki Farmers Market were will you do our free yoga at the farmers market every Saturday morning? I'm it's not free because I'm not in someone's living room. I'm in a grassy area with liability coverage, permit coverage. I could put signs everywhere I want. It's free marketing. So we literally for 8 years donated our time at those communities. So we did things like that. And eventually you stop doing it for free. We just told the farmers markets we linked them to our teacher trainings. We had our teacher trainings teach them and stuff, but everything involves and follow your gut. We know when we need to change and shift, right? But start putting yourself out there in the community. Teach for the community center or on the news channel or for your local chamber, or showing them, and do it really accessible, the easy stuff. So everyone's oh, I can do it. Start with stuff like that. And then you'll build that reputation, but you don't want to sell your soul, right? You don't want to give it all away. So you want to make sure there's a two-way street of a benefit. And then you have people that follow you for your mission and vision, and they do things with you for you. And then maybe you give away, like, I'll personal train you for free if you do this for me, or you're giving some services in exchange. And the next thing, it's blossoming, but give it 3 to 5 years of keep trying. Don't give up. 3 feet from gold. We're right now in our 10th year or 9th year, and we're just starting to really get recognized and build a funnel. And all that time looking behind, it's been worth it. And just take baby steps, baby chunks, and reward yourself along the way.
That's such a valuable point. I love it. And for the fitness coaches, your workout plan may get someone started, but the relationship, the accountability, the support, and the community are often what keep them going. In your opinion, what are some simple ways that coaches can build more connection into their whole client experience that they deliver?
Go into outside the box. Believe it or not, the networking places that I go to are for addiction recovery, sex assault survivors, domestic violence, not fitness places anymore, right? Because they all know about yoga. They all know about fitness. So I'm going to the places that I don't think know about it. Just really think outside the box. And addiction recovery centers everywhere, they need movement. Everyone's taking movement away and putting them on medications. And I know a lot of them, in Arizona, we're 90% addiction recovery. We probably have 40 to 50 classes a week on the calendar in addiction recovery. There are 822 addiction recovery behavioral health centers in Maricopa County. So look into your areas, what is really huge in your area, and whatever your niche is, how can you bring it there? But please don't hide behind a computer, because everyone gets their nutrition coaching from AI now. Everyone's getting their plans from AI. So you have to do something a robot can't do.
Yeah, that's
you
good.
really have to be human.
Yep.
So it's when people say, oh, I can teach meditation. I'm sorry, that anybody can do meditation today. It doesn't cut it. So you have to
Yeah, good point. And Kary, let's talk directly to the fitness coach, the yoga teacher, or the wellness professional listening right now, because they may be talented and they may care deeply and they may be great at helping people, but they're struggling to grow the business and get consistent clients and be able to stand out. So from your journey building Yoga's Arc, what are the biggest business lessons that they need to hear?
You need to start thinking like a CEO, not like a fitness professional.
Yeah.
2, you need to start your daily routines for your business. Pretend you're your own boss and make your own hours and fire yourself if you don't show up for yourself. And 3, get a coach. Go to the SBDC. Do something where someone that knows more than you in the business world shows up for you, and be open to listen to it if your gut tells you they're doing. Because a lot of us as fitness professionals, we laugh at our bosses. They are really in shape and they're very nutritionally knowledgeable, but they don't know how to run their box at all. And we laugh at them and we don't respect them, or I used to not. But I learned a lot from what they didn't do. So just be open to serve. Don't do it for yourself. If you're in it for you and the money, just don't do it.
Yeah.
And never quick fix, ever. I tried everything.
Yeah, so good. One of the things that kept me from really growing in the beginning is I tried to just figure everything out on my own for the first 5 years of being an online fitness coach. And it didn't work. I thought because I was a very packed in-person trainer that had a waiting list and all those things, I just have to go online and people are going to come to me. It doesn't work that way. My biggest takeaway was or changing point, I should say, in my business is when I finally hired a business coach to be able to help me. And I was like, oh my God, all this stuff I was missing and doing out of the wrong sequence. And it was like, man, if I would have just done this from the beginning, I would be light years ahead. And ever since then, I've never stopped having a coach myself and learning, because it's so important. So why not get help from somebody who's already built out what you're looking to do and can lead you from point A to point B in the fastest way possible than you trying to throw spaghetti at the wall and be like, I'll try a million different things. And you're wasting time and money and effort in things that don't move the needle.
It's usually fear and ego.
Yeah, it is. We think, man, well, let me try it on my own first and see how it goes. But if you want to really be able to grow and scale faster, you want to have a structured plan in place. And that's or working with somebody who's already built out what you're looking for. And one of the biggest takeaways is that you don't have to build the same business that everybody else is building either. You can build around your strengths and your story and your mission and community and the people that you feel called to serve. So how can coaches start finding what makes their work unique in your opinion, Kary?
I did a lot of journaling and spiritual work and reflecting by myself in quiet to really find what it is that I'm good at, what it is that my niches are. And that is probably the most important thing that's gotten me to 55 employees, 100 teachers under my umbrella, whether in we have 5 teacher trainings and obviously we employ. So that is probably the most important thing, is taking that time with yourself. Don't run from yourself. Do your morning reflection every day. Do your writing, your journaling, and your answers will come.
Yeah. And I think the coaches who win in the future, especially with all this technology, are going to be not just going to have the best exercises anymore, right? That's a commodity now. They're going to understand people. They're going to create that connection that other people aren't. They're going to use technology still probably, but without using the human touch, without losing, I should say, the human touch. So what role do you think technology can play in making wellness and fitness coaching more accessible without making it feel too cold or disconnected?
Be vulnerable in yourself and authentic in the videos and the reels and the stories you post on your social media pages. Don't make them perfect. Make them like your thoughts, your reflections, and be authentic and see what sticks and see what makes people like want to watch you and follow you. Don't worry about being popular, because if people get popular, it's usually for the wrong reasons if it's quickly. Just keep showing up for yourself and your people will come.
Kary, this has been such a great conversation. And before we move into what's called the rapid fire that we'll do, I want to ask you this. So for the fitness coach or yoga instructor or wellness professional listening who wants to build a business that creates both income and impact, what final advice would you give them?
I give it to God. I mean, that's my answer. I know it's subjective and I know that's personal, but if it wasn't for that connection, like I feel like this is truly my purpose and why I'm on this earth. And it makes it way easier by me surrendering and not trying.
Yeah, good stuff. Let's transition. Let's have a little bit of fun with some rapid fire questions. No pressure, just real quick, just the first thing that comes to mind in like one sentence. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
All right, Kary, what is one belief about yoga that you wish more people would let go of?
That you don't have to be in Cirque du Soleil to do it.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I tried to go in there and I had the instructor like literally working with me the whole time, but it was fun. What was one business lesson you had to learn the hard way?
Saying yes to a client before signing the contract.
What's one thing that every wellness professional should do more of?
Self-care that's not pushing ourselves to we want to drop.
And what's one thing that a wellness professional should stop doing?
Beating themselves up for not being perfect.
Good. Yeah. And what's one mistake that passionate coaches make when they're trying to grow?
Too much pressure on themselves, working too hard.
Okay. And what's one simple way a coach can make their service feel more welcoming?
Stop acting like a know-it-all and using big words.
There you go. Yeah. People don't care how to say vastus medialis and semitendinosus. Like, just tell me what it is. What's one habit that helps you stay grounded as a founder?
My morning ritual for 90 minutes, meditating, spiritual work, morning journal work, CEO book.
Nice. And what helped you keep going during the hard sessions or the hard seasons, I should say, of the business?
Surrendering to God.
Good. And what does success look like for Yoga's Arc over the next few years?
Multiplying. We have our SOPs, we've got our automation, we've got all our ducks in a row, and we're ready for the flood.
Amazing. And what's one message that you wish every person struggling with stress, trauma, or healing could hear right now?
It's not worth losing sleep, losing health, losing friends or family or social life. So please give yourself the parameters of time and let yourself clock out and let yourself have time off.
Nice. Good. And then last one, if a fitness coach or a wellness professional wants to build something bigger than just themselves, what is the first step that they should take?
You've got to look to bigger things outside yourself. Coaches, spirituality, reading, listening, participating in all kinds of workshops and leadership workshops so that you shift from learning about fitness and nutrition to learning how to lead.
Love that. Kary, thank you so much for being here today. This conversation is such a good reminder that the best businesses are not built by copying what everybody else is doing. They're built by solving real problems and serving real people and creating real connections and being willing to meet people where they are. So for everyone listening, think about your own business. Who are you here to serve? What problem are you really solving? And where are the people who need you most? And how can you make your coaching and your programs and your message more accessible and more personal and impactful? Because when you combine mission with structure, with heart and strategy, and service with leadership, that's when you build something that lasts. Kary, where can people connect with you, learn more about Yoga's Arc, or support the work that you're doing?
Anything Yoga's Arc, whether you're on Instagram, Facebook, website, yogasarc.com, yogasarc.com. You'll find everything and the link to our foundation, link to me, link to our teacher trainings, and all other things.
Awesome. And for everyone listening, make sure you connect with Kary and check out Yoga's Arc as well. And as always, if you're a fitness coach who wants to grow your online business and create a stronger offer and generate more leads and build a coaching business that gives you more income, more impact, and freedom, make sure you subscribe to the TNT FitBiz Accelerator Podcast. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for tuning in to the FitBiz Accelerator. If you found value in today's episode, make sure to subscribe so you never miss a tip or strategy to grow your online fitness business. And if you're ready to fast track your success, don't forget to check out tntfitprocoaching.com. Until next time, stay consistent, stay focused, and keep crushing it.